Oh, thank you for joining me for today. We are going to make some cards using the items in your package, and they are uh, just basic. They are actually smaller cards. They're note cards, and that's what we're going to be using. And some of the great papers from the celebration. So I wanted to let you know. So follow along and let's make some great cards. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make the cards first, and then at the very end, we are going to do all of the stamping. So this way, we'll do get out the inks at one time and just keep going like that. So are you ready? Let's get started. So the first card we're going to make, you're going to look for the designer series paper that has the very pretty, they're like meadow flowers, and on the back it is pink. Along with that, what we want is we're going to look for the one with the watercolor on the back. So there's a nice watercolor, we're going to be using that. And it's kind of may have an oval type shape on the other side. So I wanted to let you know, let's pull those ones out. And we are going to do some cutting. And we're going to cut those ones down, the DSP. And we want to cut it down to 5 inches high. Okay, so you're going to have a couple of strips left over. So let's cut it to 5 inches high. All right, so you're going to have some little pieces. Keep those off to the side. We will be using them for another card. And then you're going to turn it, and we're going to cut it at 2 inches. There we go. Both of them we're going to cut at 2 inches. So you're going to have an equal amount. So we're going to put one bunch aside. Okay. And we're going to get our card base. And you should see that when we cut, the paper actually does cover the front of the card. Okay, on both sides, so they will overlap. We do want that. Now we want, I'm going to be placing some of the ribbon on this side, just wrap it around. So in the meantime, I'm going to glue down this watercolor paper. So let's do that. Flip it over, add some adhesive, and add that onto the card front. Okay. Just going to line that up. Okay. And before I get started with the second piece, I'm going to choose my ribbon. And what's going to happen is I'm just going to wrap it around. Okay. And then I'll add a little bit of adhesive on the back. Okay. And I'm going to have it as close to the edge as possible. There we go. Kind of just wrap around like that. And that's a little long, so actually this little piece, it may seem like a small piece of ribbon, but I'm going to be using that for one of the sentiments, so I'm going to keep that off to the side. And now we can glue this on to the card front. Okay. Now these are very quick and easy cards. I find note cards a lot quicker to create than regular size, so let's get that glued down. Now, as I mentioned, the sentiments we're going to leave to the end because I got a tip for you on that and I wanted to show you. So this card itself is done without the sentiments. So let's place this off to the side. And the next card we're going to be working on is, let's get another note card. Now, it is totally up to you. You may want to emboss this front part of the card, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get an embossing folder, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use the gingham embossing folder, and all I'm going to do is place it so it is pretty well flush with the score line. And then I'm going to run it through. Actually, I'm going to put it this way because I've got a little bit of a boo-boo on that side and I don't want it to come onto the card. And I'm just going to run it through on the embossing machine like that. All right, so we got it embossed. Okay, so that looks fantastic. I love this look. I love embossing folders. They really add a lot. The next one we're going to get our designer series paper, and we're going to get the one with the beautiful, it's kind of like the purple and the starry sky on the other side. Now again, we need to cut this down 5 inches, and it needs to be 5 inches by 3.5. So I'm just going to double check. So first I'm going to cut it down to 5 inches. Keep this piece for something else we're going to do. And 3.5. Keep this piece for another part of a card. I'm going to double check. It fits right on. Looks great. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, oops, I was going to do this side. What I'm going to do is actually cut right into this card. And each side, I'm going to fold up. So I'm going to cut into about maybe an inch, inch and a half, and then I'm just going to fold it up to the corner here. So I'm folding it up and on an angle. So I want a little bit of an angle here, and that's why I still have a little bit left over. That's okay, because that is where the sentiment is going to cover. And again, on an angle. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive under the flap on each side. Okay, so don't worry if you've cut too far, because like I said, we are going to be placing the adhesive. Now the embossing folder that we did, it kind of gives a little bit of a design there. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Okay, all right, glue it right up to the score line, all the way along the edges, and there we go. Again, just like the first card, this is it for now until we get the sentiment on. So let's put that off to the side and move on to card number 3. Okay, we've got these pieces. I'm just going to move these pieces over here. The next one we're going to use is this, where is it? It should have the pink polka dots on the other side. Okay, I don't seem to have pink polka dots, but it's got pink polka dots on the other side. I'm just going to use this one until, oh, maybe I can find it. Hold on a second. All right, found my pink polka dots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these two together. Okay, make sure you place them together and hold on very tight, so because it will work out a little bit better. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to cut it to 5 inches. All right, there we go, 5 inches. Hold on to these pieces. We're going to use them for something else. I'm going to turn it, but what I want to do is I'm going to cut from one corner down to the next. Now, I want about a finger width on the top and a finger width on the bottom. So I'm going to cut it so that the finger width clears on the bottom. There, see, there's my finger, and there's the track. Track on the front top. There we go. There's the track to the right, to the left, to the right. And I'm just going to cut it straight across, okay? We're going to have 2 exact pieces pretty well, like that. All right? Let's take those, get our card base. Okay? This is going to be very cool. Now, depending on which one works, I'm going to place one. Let's see, does it work this way? Hold on. It just worked when I did it. Okay, I take one piece from one side. Yes. And then another piece from the other side. So I'm going to just kind of lay them down. So I took the opposite. So in the meantime, put these off to the side. We're going to use them in a minute. So you see how the card is now split? And that's exactly what we want to find. And I'm going to glue those pieces down. Okay, into the corner. And again, into the corner. There we go. Now, I can't find where that line is, so I'm going to fold the card. There we go. Okay, there we go. So for this, till we work on the sentiment, card number 3 is finished. All right. For the last card, this is where we're going to use a lot of the leftovers. Okay, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So there we go. This card is going to be horizontal. And what we want to do is look for the designer series paper that has the really pretty flowers on it, which is all of them, but one second, I'm going to show you. Okay, so it's this one with the flowers that would stand by its own. What we're going to do is we're going to look at this piece of paper, and you're going to cut it so that it is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So you might want to, we need to get 2 of them out, so you want to choose something that's along the bottom. Okay, so I may not choose this one because I won't get that full beautiful purple flower. I'm going to look for something like this one here, and let's see if I can get, I want to at least clear that flower. So it is 2 3/4. So I'm going to put 2 3/4. So it's not going to quite clear. So I'm going to bring it down, maybe down to 3 inches, and I'm going to cut. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around and 2 3/4 so I can bring it up from the bottom. Okay, I'm going to keep this for something. And what I want to do is 2 3/4 on the other side. So there the flower is in the center. Now this, you can go left or right a little bit more, so I might go a little bit more and clear off this side so I can get some of the flower a little bit more centered. So 2 3/4. And keep all those pieces because you can always use them for something. So we wanted this piece, so for the flower I'm going to try and get it as much in the center as possible. On the back, you'll notice that's the really nice green color, and we're going to mat that. So this is going to be 3 inches by 3 inches. Again, make it nice and even. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue those two together as a nice mat. Okay, oops, get that out of the way. Okay, so it goes right on. Now remember we had those pieces, those little strips. I'm going to pull them in now because what the idea is, I'm going to have this, I'm not going to glue it on yet, but what I want to do is I want to have some little strips coming off to the right side here. Now I'm going to use the different ones. I'm going to use some of these. Keep one piece of this dark starry sky for one of the other cards. So I'm going to keep this one piece by itself. This is going to go to card number 3 that we did. So I'm going to move this off so I don't want to use that. But I do have a little bit of it on this one, and I'm just going to cut that in half. You don't have to be exact on the cutting. You just want a couple of little thinner strips. Okay, I'm just going to lay these down here. This one could be a little bit thicker. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. I'm going to turn it over. Oh, this is a very nice purple color. I'm going to have that one. And do I have any of the pink polka dots left? I do. I'm going to use a little bit of strip of that. Okay. So I've got about 4 different strips in here. Okay, they're not exactly of the same width, but that's okay. And what I'm going to do, if you're really good at it, you want to flag the ends. If you're not good like me, and you have one of the handy dandy punches, we're going to flag the end of all of those little strips. Let's get on and do that. Okay. I just love this punch. I don't know why they got rid of it, but it is, for me, it's a lifesaver. I don't know about you. I don't know what I'd do without it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that one didn't go pretty well, so let's try again. Punch it. There we go. So I have all of those, oops, strips done. What I want to do is, if I have a thicker one, I'm going to kind of lay that down and build on from that. Let's put that darker one, and I'm going to stagger them and place them at different spots. Okay, so I think I'm going to do something similar to that. Maybe I'll do this, just kind of move them around till you are happy with what you got there. I'm going to actually put these a little bit closer. Okay. I kind of want these to kind of go on each other. There we go. It's kind of like figuring it out as you go along. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to do something similar to that. Now, I'm going to see if that's the design I like, and then I'm going to put that one on to the left. That's kind of good. I'm not too sure I like that thick one there, but keep moving them around until you are happy.
Hey, Mom.
So let's get these placed down. I think I'm going to place that one there. Everybody has a different idea of where they want their items to go, and that's okay. You really can't go wrong. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to glue those down. Okay, there we go, different lengths. Oh, make sure that they're straight first of all. That would definitely help. Okay, there we go. Okay, you could use as many different colors of little strips that you want. I'm just going to go with the 4. That's why we kept those little pieces. Okay. And there we go. So you have those on there, and this part should be covered by that little square. So once you have that on there, and as you decided, we can glue that down. Okay. And I'm going to have a nice little edge around. There we go. Okay, now what we're going to do next is we are going to look at the pieces that we have left over. And we are going to be creating our sentiments. So we got these pieces here, and what I'm going to do is, this is the one from the very first piece that we had, and we are going to use the double oval, so it won't be very large. So we're going to find something that fits in the bottom part. Okay. I'm going to use the Biggest Wishes, and I'm going to use the hello on that. I think it's going to look really nice, and I'm just going to use some basic Memento black ink. Let's get that guy on there. And I'm going to stamp 4 of these. There we go, just right on there. And because it's in the bottom part of the double punch, we're going to have to cut these guys apart and have like a little helper to place it in the punch, to punch it out. So I'm going to use a little bit of tape. I'm actually going to just use this little piece that I had left over. I'm going to place it on the end, kind of like a little extension. Place it in the punch, and I'm going to do that for all of the sentiments. Oh, I think I need a little bit more tape. And just one more. Now, if you have scraps of cardstock lying around, you can always do the frames, which we're doing next, with coordinating cardstock if you want. But I'm going to be using the back part of the pink. So I'm going to be using the pink side, and I am going to be punching that out, the little frames on there. So I'm going to do 4 of those. Okay. Just so that it gives a little bit of color break. Let's see, can I get that one? Nope. I'll do a couple of these. Or if you have scrap cardstock or designer series paper left over, that would work too. And I'm just going to mount them all on these. Now, with the exception of one of them, I'm going to decide whether I want to do it. So out of the 4 sentiments, I'm going to place on this little section. Oops. The last one is going to be for one of the cards that we created, and actually there was this little piece here, and I'm going to take a look to decide whether I want to use this either with the scalloped edges or not. Okay, so this one I want to use with the 3rd card that we did, and what I'm going to do is have it actually go across kind of like this, and I'm going to decide, do I want the one with, actually I really like it with that, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flag each end. So I need to get that, and I'm going to flag the ends of this. I'm going to have to see how long that piece is going to be. I'll rip that and just flag the other end. Actually, I do like it with the other part on there. So I'm going to actually just glue that on now. And I will place it on with dimensionals. I just want to offset it a little bit, so it's a little bit more on one side than the other. So that means I can make sure that they all have little things on there. So there we go. Clean that up. So since I'm working with this card, I know I want to have this here, and I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon behind it. And I'm just going to kind of do the back and forth kind of loop. I don't know how much I need, so I'll just clip that off. And I'll just go back and forth. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Back and forth. And I'm going to have it go up to the top. Back and forth. Oh, I think I got it on my hand. I'll be glued down with the card, but that's okay. And up like that. Okay, now I'm going to get some dimensionals. And I'm going to add that to the front of the card. Oops. What the heck is going on here? Now this one string is a little long, but I'm going to cut that down. I just that to the top. Oh, looking fabulous. Looking fabulous. So there's one. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to take that 3rd card. And do I have a little piece? You know what? I got that little piece. Oh, look, I got 2 little pieces. I can add those again to the card. Use up those little pieces. Why not? Add it to the card. Here we go. Now you also have these gems, but I'm going to add them all at the very end. And the 2nd card, remember, oops, the 2nd card we had with the little split here. Where'd my sentiments go? Oh, they're right in front of me. There we go. I could add some ribbon around that. Might as well. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the other card. Or you can add a bow. Everything is different. It is totally up to you on how you want to do each card, because each card is unique. And let's get that with a dimensional. These are cute little cards. There we go. I really think the embossed paper really adds something to that. And for the last one, I'm going to get a piece, fold it over, add that to there. Whoops, stay. I'll pop on some dimensionals there. And we'll add it to right kind of where it kind of overlaps. Okay, there we go. So I got that, and now I got my little gems. These are those opals from By the Bay. Let's add a couple of these here and there. Okay, they are fabulous. I love how the colors on that is just fantastic. Okay. Where do I want to? Oh, that one wants to. Oh my goodness, I got a whole bunch falling off. They all want to join. Oh, I'll just plop those on. There we go. Okay, there we go. And we're going to decorate that. And don't forget, you can also decorate your envelopes if you wish. I just wanted to show you a few cards that you can create, and I wanted to really thank you for joining me this year and supporting myself and following and everything. I really appreciate it. So there are some 4 very cute little note cards. I just love them, and I think I'm going to keep going on and making more of these. I love it. So thank you so much for all of your support and joining my team and everything like that. I can't thank you enough. I hope that this will show a little bit of appreciation, and if you do make more, please post them in the community page. I'd love to see what you've made.